Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Ujwal. I am a fourth year medical student, and today's video was really to kind of share something that I felt is the main takeaway that I've gained from my years so far in undergrad, medical school, and yeah, if even one person can really internalize, I think what I'm going to share, I think I will have achieved the goal of this video. So as you can see, the title of today's video is "Enjoy the Journey." There is no destination, and this is the reason why this is the title is because we very commonly hear, enjoy the journey, right? It's all about the journey. It's not about the destination because it comes from the assumption that we're always seeking some end goal, and we don't really focus on the journey. So it comes from a place of trying to warrant introspection and kind of looking at the roses as you're walking on the path, if you will. And so this video is yes, reiterating the importance of the journey, but I think something I've learned is there is no destination, period. It's not enjoy the journey and you'll get to the destination someday. There is no destination, I think is what I've come to understand. So the first point I wanted to make is the grind is never going to end, right? You're never going to wake up one morning and be like, I did it, I'm done. You're always going to want the next best thing. That's just how the dopamine reward pathway works, right? I've said this time and time again. When you're pre-med, you want to get into med school. When you're in med school, you want to get into a certain residency, maybe a certain place, maybe a certain specialty, maybe both. Once you're in residency, you want to practice in a certain setting. You want to make a certain salary. You want a certain work-life balance. Once you're in attending, you're called a junior attending. You have to establish yourself. It never stops. It never ends. And if you go into academics, right, even as an attending, you need to apply for grants, and you may not get these grants on your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth try. So the grind never ends. The grind never ends. And you'll never have the day where you wake up and you're going to say, I did it. Like, yes. Even if you do that, you wake up one day after getting into med school the day before and you're like, I did it. The next day won't be like that. And the day after. Next point I want to make is the journey is a roller coaster, right? So there's going to be highs and lows. The highs are great. It's really easy to enjoy the highs. When you get into med school or when you match in the residency of your choice, it's very easy to be elated and excited. But you're also going to have lows. Whenever there's highs, there's going to be lows. That's how life works. You'll never have a situation where it'll only be highs or only be lows. And the point I wanted to make in bringing this up is don't dread the lows. As tough as those may be, there's a lot to gain from them. Whenever you experience a low, it's an invaluable learning opportunity. Whether that's in your professional or personal life. Professional, you don't do well in an exam, there's something to learn from that. And if you learn the right things, in theory, you won't be making the same mistakes again. And that's kind of how growth works, right? In your personal life, there's tons of examples that I can give, right? If you're not the best partner in a relationship, in theory, if you learn from that breakup or whatever, you will be a better partner in your next relationship. So professional, personal life, doesn't matter. The lows are going to suck. But if you can understand that it is a learning opportunity, despite the fact that it sucks, you're making the most of your journey. So don't dread the lows. Don't dread them. Obviously, don't anticipate them. But when they happen, understand that they will happen. And when they happen, try to wear the lens of looking at it from a learning opportunity perspective. And I think the last thing I wanted to say was, this is a short video, contrary to most of my videos. The last thing I want to say is, the title of the video, Enjoy the Journey. There is no destination. I may have stretched it just a little bit. There is a destination, and it's going to sound morbid as it's death. That's the only destination that there is. Life ends at some point. No one knows when. I always say this, not to be like a skeptic or whatnot, just to put things into context and perspective. The average life expectancy is around 75, plus minus, based on what country and what metrics we're looking at. When you're young, you don't see the clock, right? When you're young, you don't see the clock. It's sort of like an exam. I'm sure a lot of us can relate to this, right? All of our exams are timed. Gone are the days where you could have unlimited time in your exams. That was elementary school, maybe middle school. All your exams are timed. And when you start the exam, no one's looking at the clock. You're like, I got 2 hours, 3 hours, I'm chilling. This is great. But as the time passes the 50% mark and you're getting near the end, and you might be a little behind the pace, that's when you start to realize, oh, there's a timer. Oh, I might be a little behind. Your eye starts looking at the clock a lot more frequently near the end than it does in the beginning. Life is the same way. When you're young, we're not looking at the clock. Who's looking at the clock? No one. But time is going to pass by, and there will come a point in time where you will start to look at the clock. You'll start to look at the calendar. You'll start to look at the year, and you'll see, wow, I was 25 yesterday and I'm 55 today. That's just how life works. So why do I say this point though? And this is kind of this is the ultimate take-home message of this video. If you're ever in a point in your life where you're thinking to yourself, you got to make a decision, and you're thinking to yourself, should I do this? Should I say this? Or should I live the rest of my life just wondering what could have been? Should I go to that conference? Should I go to that program? Should I take the risk? Or should I say what's been on my mind to this person or whatever? If you're asking yourself that question, stop right there. Do whatever it is you're thinking about doing. Say whatever it is you're thinking about saying. And remember that the only rule you really have to think about in life, there's no perfect way to live life, but there is one thing you should always try to avoid. Try to avoid living life with regrets. Regret. It means looking back, wishing you had done something else, wishing you had done something different. Don't need to say this. I look up to Kobe Bryant. One thing he always harped on was the reason why he worked so hard is because he never wanted a day to come where he looked back on his career and he said, I wish I had done that. I wish I had done this. Don't want regrets. Professional and personal life, right? I think it's very clear that I'm not one for really, I'm not one for, personal life is super duper important and all that. It's important to have both. They're both, professional and personal life are both important, but it's still really important to keep in mind that you don't want to have regrets in professional and personal life, because at the end of your life, it doesn't matter what kind of professional achievements you have, if you have regrets in your personal life, it'll eat away at you. Same thing, if you do great in your personal life, but then you have regrets in your professional life, it's going to eat away at you. It's hard to strike a balance, and I don't think there is any such thing as a balance. Work-life balance, there's no such thing as a balance. You have to make sacrifices in some place if you want one thing or the other. And the question is, which sacrifices will you make? So, long story short, take-home message, don't live life with regrets. If you're thinking about it, you're asking yourself whether you should do something or not, you're asking your friends, what do you think I should do? You think there's going to be consequences, everything comes with risk, pluses and minuses. More often than not, you will be making the right decision if you just do it or say it. Okay? Alrighty. I think that's it. This is almost 10 minutes. Okay, so this is a new record for me. On this note, I hope everyone is doing well. As always, more than happy to help out. Anyone applying to med school, or even if you're in the early stages of medical school, I just now started M4, so that means basically I have finished the core part of medical school, other than applying to residency stuff. But this video is not about talking about me and whatever. So I'm just saying I'm here to help you guys out in whatever way, capacity that I can, if you guys need it. Otherwise, I hope you're all doing well. Take care, and I will see you in that next one.